laying out the variety of different case studies that you just provided to us, I think there's a question inside of there around, gender lens is the thread that is weaved through all of those companies. But as a private equity investor, there's quite a considerable range of the types of companies that you're investing in. And I'm curious how you think about, from an investment decisioning perspective, operating across a range of different businesses. What does that mean then in terms of how you make decisions and how you work with your portfolio companies accordingly?
We were founded in 2007, and we were founded as an impact investor driving for inclusion. Now, some of our first investments were about, we're in microfinance or financial services. But then we realized that if we're going to have broad impact and access, technology has to play a role. And so that led us to making, literally one of the first fintech investments in Nigeria. And one thing I always say is that tech is a tool, right? At some point, tech became the dog, and tech should remain the tail and not be wagging the dog. Tech is a tool. So to answer your question, even as we do have a number of industries, we have some opportunities that are VC and tech focused that are changing, transforming traditional industries. But I always say to the team, they are still traditional industries. The difference now is the stage of entry in which we've come into that business. We've made a number of tech investments. We're not a pure tech company, but we see the leverage for tech to help us drive on our inclusion mandates, on our mandates to make it possible for ordinary folk to have access to essential goods and services. Tech will play a role. And then we work in agro-services, agro-processing. It's the largest employer on the continent. There's significant opportunity. There's food insecurity, which plays into our mandate of affordable and accessible goods, food, and job creation. It's where we can have the largest bang for our buck in that area. So we're in that sector, and being the largest employer, that's also where you see a preponderance of female producers.